So Saturn Retrograde started today. Let's pull some tarot about it. This Saturn Retrograde is in Pisces, and don't quote me on this, but I also think we have like Neptune that's either retrograde now or will be retrograde at some point. All of the astrologers that I follow, they're all saying like similar things, but yet also different things. They're all talking about how this is like a time of karma, like people getting their karma. But some of them are also saying that it's a time where you will be forced to really focus on yourself and push yourself to get from where you are to where you want to be if you're not there yet. So overall, I think that this will be a very balancing time for us. But let's see what the tarot has to say. The energy of this reading is very positive, but I'm going to urge you to keep an open mind because a lot of the things that will come to pass after this reading are not going to come to pass in the way that you would expect them. You know, in the Snickers commercials, you always have like a group of friends or like two people they're talking, and one of them is just like acting like a monster or like just completely out of pocket, and the friends are like, here, have a Snickers, and they're like, why? And they're like, because you're not you and you're hungry. And then they give them a Snickers and they just turn back into a like normal human, and they're like, better, and he's like, better. You know, that's kind of what's happening right now. Is the universe is like, hey, you're not you right now, like you're not you when you're hungry. So you're being pushed and urged right now to kind of release judgments about the outside world because you're very much still hermiting. Like you are still in hermit mode. Your hermiting is starting to wear off and come to an end. So you may be experiencing like little spurts here and there of like going out and doing things or like enjoying being the center of attention or something like that, or things that typically are not associated with hermiting. I feel like people misunderstand what it means to be the hermit in tarot. The hermit isn't like an antisocial card. It is a card of introspection. It's a card of independence. And so a lot of times when we're in our hermit mode, we are spending a lot of time alone, a lot of time like with introspection. But there is also an energy to the hermit of being around people who need you and being a light to people who need you. It's very Nanny McPhee. Whenever you need me but no longer, or but do not want me, I'll be there. And whenever you want me but no longer need me, I will leave. And that is the like energy of the hermit. And so right now you're still being urged to like really focus on yourself and with the like inner introspection. Even if you are being a little more lonely right now or spending a lot of time alone, you're still being urged to do that and to enjoy doing that, like taking pleasure in being alone, doing things that you enjoy doing and that you don't have to have other people around for, because there's something still within yourself that you are needing to connect to. There's some type of emotion you're needing to unravel. There's some type of long-term trauma that is still deep down inside of you that the Saturn energy needs you to release before you can really move forward in this next process. Because once you move forward, then everything will make sense. There are certain things that you may see right now that are opportunities that would come to you that you'd be like, ugh, I would never want to do that. That sounds disgusting. That sounds terrible. Like, I would not have a good time doing that. But then once you exit hermit mode, you're going to be like, actually, that doesn't sound that bad. And that's also for people too. There may be people that you would consider like to be not your type, or people you wouldn't be interested in right now in hermit mode. But then once you are back out into the world, ready to socialize, ready to open back up to people and allow people to pour to your light rather than you just being comfortable in your own light, you're going to find yourself maybe being attracted to people friendship-wise, romantic-wise, whatever, in a way that you're not right now because you're still simply in hermit mode. I personally have had a tendency to be a little bit of a negative Nancy about this Saturn retrograde. I've been like, great, it's one thing after another, and now Saturn's going retrograde in Pisces, and I have tons of Pisces placements, so I'm just going to have tons of karma come at me. What most astrologers have been saying up to this point is that, especially for the mutable signs, Pisces, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Gemini, if you have been really good or you have put out a lot of good karma, you've been kind to people, you've been good to people, you've been generous, and everything else, especially since like the beginning of 2023, this period you're going to be rewarded. If you've put out tons of hard work, then this period you're going to have that hard work pay off. And overall, I think we all aspire to be good people. I think we all aspire to be hardworking. But I've been nervous because over the past, like, I'd say 3 months, I've really taken the time to just stop working very hard. Like, I do what I have to do, and I do things, like, especially because I have, like, my own business. So you can't just slack there. Like, you have to keep up with things. But in my personal life and all other assets and facets of my life, I've had a tendency just to, like, rest and just relax. And I keep ebbing back and forth between guilting myself and then, like, being like, no, I deserve this. And so the thing is that overall, what people like typically misunderstand is that they think Saturn is this mean, like, I want you to fail. energy. But no, Saturn wants you to succeed. And if that means pointing out short-term failures or for short-term like places where you may fall short so that you can succeed in the long run, that's what Saturn's going to do. But this energy specifically for this Saturn retrograde in this reading and in the energy that I'm picking up on right now is Saturn saying, hey, I've taught you a lot of lessons here recently and I'm proud of you. And you've held those you've held those true, you've listened to them, you've learned them, you've logged them away in your noggin. So let's take a break. Let's take a beat. And it seems like this next 4 months, it's until November that it's retrograde. For this next 4 months, you're going to get really a big break from the lessons, or from at least the big lessons. And you're going to get time to put them to practice, but not in oh, I've learned all these lessons now to take an exam. No, you're going to get to go actually put them into the real world, put them into real life experiences and benefit from them and enjoy them. You're going to have a lot of great things come to you, but it's not going to be in the way that you expect. Right now, you are a little too stuck in your head, so you can't see the good things that are going to be coming to you. And so you probably have all of these negative, visions of what the future is going to be like, but just stop, because you're not even expecting what's going to come. It's going to be good, it's going to be beneficial, but you're not expecting what's going to come. It seems like over the past few years that your pendulum swung too far in one direction, and now it had to swing all the way back. So this time of emptiness, this time of not plenty, this time of struggle that you've been going through and everything, it was the pendulum swinging back in the opposite direction. And it's because you ran really, really hard from that opposite direction. You saw what was over here and you didn't want to be over here, so you ran as hard as you could in that direction. But when you did that, you were running away from something, not towards something. We talked about this in a tarot reading just a couple of days ago. So whenever this next period starts, or this this retrograde energy starts to kick in, you will be pulling back toward the center of the pendulum swinging. It's already swung back, the balance has balanced out, so now you're going to be coming back center. And the whole point in needing this to happen is that there were lessons over here you were supposed to learn, but you ran from them. So you had to learn them now, after learning what it means to have plenty, what it means to have abundance, what it means to have great opportunity after great opportunity. And so now that things are centering back out, you know both. You're a master of both. So when you move forward now, you know how to not just beeline it toward one thing. You can just step forward confidently and be okay, I know now what to do if this happens or if this happens. And that's what's happening now, is that you are finally starting to be set free. Right now, you're not in this magician energy. The magician energy is really I have everything. I'm a master of all. I can do whatever I need to do to succeed. I have all the tools that I need. And you're not in that right now. And that's why you still feel very trapped, feeling you really want to leave, feeling good things aren't going to come to you. But they are. They're just not what you expect, because you're still only seeing things through this lens over here or this lens over here. But there's a very centered lens that you're about to step into that isn't going to feel rushed. It isn't going to feel like you're having to run after something or run away from something. You're just going to get to step into whatever this is and go, okay, that makes sense. That's not what I expected, not necessarily what I wanted, but that's amazing. You know what? I'll take it. I'm grateful for it. And honestly, I can see why things will work out better for this. We have a lot of the same cards from different decks that have come out multiple times in this reading, so I'm taking it as confirmation. But again, the good things that are coming to you, they're not going to be what you think. They're not going to be some quick, rich scheme. You're not going to have well, you may, I don't know, but it's not the energy of having $100,000 randomly drop from the sky into your lap. But it is the energy of, oh, I have this cool opportunity that will give me long-term success in the financial department and career department. And it's something that I can do that will allow me to invest while also paying off debt, while also doing X, Y, and Z, while also still being able to have a life. This is something that will allow me to have everything that I am comfortable with right now, but that is still moving me forward toward what it is that I want. There were some wishes that you've made probably over the past 3 years that I bet you forgot about them, and I bet you thought the universe was not going to give them to you, but the universe is about to give them to you now. They just had to cook, and you had to cook, because you are not the version of you that could handle those wishes coming true. But now those wishes are about to come true. So buckle in, get ready, but remember not to be too judgmental, because they may not look the way that you would expect them to. Overall, the Saturn retrograde is going to be a much smoother and calmer time than what you're expecting it to be, or what you've been thinking that the next period of your life is going to be. So try to go into it with that mindset, be grateful, take things slowly, don't try to rush. That's all I have. If this message aligns with you, it will find you, and if it doesn't, keep scrolling. It costs $0 to mind your own business.